Skyline Scotland is back after a year's absence, and there's a brand new race, the Steall Marathon. Today I'm going to run the entire course to check it out and to give you a really good sense of what's in store. Alright, I'm down at the start line for the Steall Marathon in Kinlochleven, so we're outside the school. This is where the race is going to start, and we just do a loop around town and then we head up. Time to start the watch. Now let's get going. So we've done a short loop around Kinlochleven and now we're onto the path that heads up towards the Mamores, which is the mountain range that we're going to be traversing a little bit. So if you're familiar with the area, it's the same path you would take to go to Skyline and Beg. It's a steady, sustained climb out of Kinlochleven, about 2.5 miles. As you come out of the trees, you start to get this amazing view down Lochleven. Unfortunately, it's behind you, so maybe take a second to turn round and appreciate it. So we're 2.5 miles in, we've just hit a junction onto a road here, onto this track. We're going to follow this down towards the Mamores. Slight downhill, so it's a chance to recover. We're about 4 miles in and we're about to take a right hand turn and start climbing up onto the Mamores ridge. So this is it here. Just going to head up that track behind me and up onto the ridge. So we're essentially going to go straight up into this corrie to maybe about halfway, and then it doglegs to the right. And it'll come up here and join the ridge up here, and then we'll follow the ridge over like that. So we've traversed along to the right and we're about to turn and then just traverse back along and up onto the Mamores ridge. Now. Behind me is recce. We're not heading that way, we're heading up to Steall, which is the only Munro on the route at 981 metres. And now that we're up onto the ridge, we start to get views across to the Nevis range. So can't quite see Ben Nevis here, but we've got Moor and Beg behind, and the Grey Corries as well. And we'll get views of Ben Nevis just shortly. Okay, so we've made it to the top of Steall. That's the Munro on the course. We're now onto the Ring of Steall, so behind me is Angarannach. And then we're going to head towards Bodach, which is floating around in the mist somewhere up there. But we're not going to summit it, we're going to traverse along the side of it. So just lurking up in the clouds there is Ambodach, that's a Monroe. We're not going to go up there, we're going to cut across, just across that face and regain that ridge across there, and then head on towards that next one, which is Skyline. So now that we're back on the ridge, we start the ascent of Skyline, but instead of going to the summit, we're going to traverse across and then drop down the far side. So we've popped back out onto the ridge now, that's Steall Marathon behind me. We're going to descend down to the Bealach between Skyline and Steall Marathon and then head down. So we've descended down from Skyline and come to this lovely little green-blue lochan Corrinam Misich, and we're going to just head down the descent now. It's about 3 miles, it's a long runnable descent. There's also lots of water sources on this descent. I haven't been pointing out all the water sources because they're quite plentiful apart from when you're up on that ridge. So we're about to head down into Glen Nevis now, and yeah, let's just crack on. I think this will be a good bit to just get the legs turning over and maybe make up a bit of time if you're feeling good. So at this point we're about to turn off the track and drop down onto the road. There's a very short road section and then we arrive at the Glen Nevis Visitor Centre. I think this is where the one and only service point is on the race. So at this point we're about to start the second big climb of the race. We're now onto the Ben Nevis tourist path. So we're going up to the halfway lochan, as it's called. It's not actually halfway up. So this climb is about 600 metres of ascent over about 2.3 miles, 3.7 kilometres. With this being the tourist path, there's likely to be a lot of people around. Might be a bit of traffic to negotiate. So this is going to be a point in the race to just dig in, get your head down, find a good rhythm and get up to the halfway lochan. So this is actually a good point where you can see a lot of the route that you've done previously. So if we spin round, just through that valley is where you came down from Skyline and then you've come along the track into Glen Nevis and then down to the visitor centre, back onto the path. So we're doing a bit of a doubling back here. So that's that climb over. We're at the halfway lochan, that's behind me. So we're about 18 miles into the course at this point. The main route up Ben Nevis goes to the right, but we're going to fork left. And this is about 2 miles of a traverse round the side of the hill. And we're going to end up at the CIC hut. So having done this before, it's quite technical in places, quite runnable in others. So it's maybe a place to pick up some speed if you can. This hat is looking wild. So that's us at the CIC hut behind me. That section over from the Ben path, it's kind of deceptive. It's only about 2 miles, but it's very technical. There's lots of kind of slippy wet rocks. It's quite explosive. You have to put in little bursts of power, and I think it could be a bit of an energy sapper at this point in the race. But the good news is, this is about the highest point from here on. So it's all downhill really to the finish. And there's quite a runnable descent coming up. So where we are just now, we're underneath the north face of Ben Nevis, which is a really cool location. It's very scenic. But yeah, just watch out for that section across from the Ben path to CIC. Quite technical, quite slippy, and it's one you just have to kind of grit your teeth and get through. If you're not used to the terrain, it might be a bit frustrating, but from here on, we're just going to head all the way down. There's a very runnable descent coming up. We've made it down the descent from the CIC hut. Then we turn right, we're onto some forest tracks. We're basically going to just follow this all the way to the Nevis range and the finish. Okay, I'm following the official map and I've turned off the fire road. It's supposed to go through here, but there's some blown down trees. I'm not sure if they'll clear that in time for the race or if it will be rerouted, so I'm just going to get back on the fire road and make my way down to Nevis range. So I had to miss out part of the last section just because the trees were blown down. But this is the final bit, just coming down into Nevis range. So that's it, we're at Nevis range. This is where the race finishes. So 26 miles, it's a challenging course, lots of ascent, but you get to see a lot of the best bits of the Highlands, I think, in quite a short distance. If you're doing the race, good luck. I'll see you down there. I'll be on the start line 20th of September for the Steall Marathon.